Hi, thank you so much for joining me. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. Today we want to share a little bit about, where we come from, the baby boomers. The baby boomers. Hip hip hooray, right? I remember when we came up. When we came up, everybody, everybody was in charge of the children. We had a village. I knew exactly who all my neighbors were. Miss Agnes and Mr. Chink lived here. The Tolsons lived there. And again, when we came up, you very seldom heard about divorce or people, single parents. Everybody was just about keeping the village together. So I say that to say this. When we look at today, and I'm not, I'm not throwing those stones. I'm just telling you the difference, right? Okay. Yang and a yang. Just the difference. The difference is this. The children that we're watching today that's growing up, the children that we're seeing are raising children, right? But they're still children raising children. And it's hard for a child to raise a child to be an adult when they was an adult when they had the child. I'm trying to make sense to you in a minute. See, when we were coming up, you had to wait until you was an adult before you even thought about having children. Very seldom you saw a teen pregnancy. Very seldom. I mean, it was rare. And if you saw one, you gawked. Like, what happened, right? Because it was just a law. It was the way we were raised. But now, because children are having children, because they are having children, they're not raising them on, from an adult view, right? Because when we had children, we were adults. So we knew how to get them from one stage to the other. But when you're still a child, trying to raise a child, what are you putting in them? What are you investing in them? How are you guiding them and training them when you're still a child? That's why we see a lot of children that's coming into your schools, that's coming into your workplace, that's coming down your neighborhood, that may be interrupting, your little peace. When you're sitting, at the light, you can hear them coming down the road. Boom, boom, all of this is a change because of who's raising our children. Who's raising our children? The television, the social media, the friends, these stars. Everybody's raising the children except for the parents. So when we came up, our parents raised us. And I said our parents. Because again, very seldom you knew about a one single family household. We had a mother and a father that kept that balance there, right? Mama said you could have your way most of the time. Daddy said you couldn't. So, you had that, that balance in there, right? But having a two-family home, it gave you a lot to work with because everything was owned at one parent. Two people were making decisions about their children, about the things they're going to do, how they're going to, elevate their lives, and the guidance from two parents. When I came up, my neighbors, were almost like parents, absent parents, because they had the right to tell me to do thus and thus. And I never questioned them and say, you ain't my mama. Oh my gracious, I can't stand to hear a child say that. You ain't my mama. I'm like, We wouldn't dare say it to somebody or roll our eyes. Oh honey, rolling your eyes at an adult was unheard of. Talking back to an adult because we were taught and trained and raised, right? Respect the elders. Respect your elders. I'm so glad I heard those words. Respect your elders. You ain't gotta like what they said. You don't like what they did, but you're gonna respect them. And if you had a problem with them, you bring it to your mother or your father and let them handle that. But you do not talk back to an elder. Lord have mercy, what we got going on now, y'all? How do you even tell it? If you even try to tell a child something, they could be 5 years old. Honey, go ahead. Sit down before you fall. You don't tell me what to do. And roll their eyes, and then the mom jumps up. Who you think you're talking to? And you almost got to fight just because you're trying to protect the child who's about to fall, right? That was unheard of. But because we're watching children having children, and that cycle continues, and each generation, each time this happens, it gets deeper and deeper into a place that's like, it almost seems like it's no coming back from. So if a young mother is having a child, let's say she's 16, 15 years old, or younger, God forbid, but it could be younger, but she just had a child. At the age of 13 years old, she now has a baby. She doesn't know how to care for one. She doesn't know the responsibility because she's still a child. She just left her mother's lap 13 years ago. Now she's trying to put somebody in her lap. And then a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, when you're trying to help the young mothers raise their children, they take offense. Oh, that's my child. Ooh, excuse me. But you already see where they're going. And then because you see what they're doing to the child, you already know the child doesn't have a head start. The child's going to be behind the 8 ball because of the fact of a child is raising them. And they don't want nobody to help them raise that child. And they're still children trying to raise a baby. So now, if mama's still 13, 16 years old, her mind ain't thinking about, I got to, first of all, she's still trying to go to school. She's still trying to get educated. She's still trying to do what her mother's telling her what to do. And then she's still trying to possibly have this relationship with the father of the child, right? And then she's trying to be a mother. All those components on a child who is not an adult, trying to raise a child, right? So mama still wants to, have fun because she's still a child and she's expected to still be a child, even though she's now a parent. So mama wants to have fun. So she's dancing in front of the child. You know how we used to dance compared to how we're dancing now. Everything got to shake. So mama's, shake it till you break it, shake it till you break it, right? This is what she's dancing in front of her child. Let's say she got a daughter. So she's teaching her, and it's cute, right? It's cute. My little child, go ahead and show them how to do this. It's a dance called some kind of water, right? You water some kind of water, drink the water, whatever it is. So, I ain't there. But anyway, the dance is a whole lot of, gyration and a whole lot of vibration, right? And this, young children are learning. Then you forget, because you're still a child, you forget who's watching your child do the things that you have taught that child they can do. So your little girls around here doing these, I call them kind of like explicit dancing, right? A little like gyration. And they're doing a whole lot of movement of the hips and their bodies in front of people who are watching them that you don't even know that's preying on your child. Because you're still a child. You ain't jumped into your adulthood yet. You still trying to have fun. And so you got your daughter doing the same thing you're doing. And you think it's cute. Look at her, watch her. Drop it, baby, drop it, baby, drop it, baby. And the baby's dropping it down. And everything is cute. Everybody's having fun. It is so fun. All your friends think it's fun. You do a little video. Everybody on social media. Oh, that is so cute. That is so cute. Oh, I like how she's doing that. And still, nobody's light came on. What you doing? And then the father has a son. And his son is watching his father. And hopefully the father, right, he's still young too, maybe 15, 16 years old. And a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times the 15-year-old young man or young boy, still got his mind on the streets, having fun. What they're doing now, everybody got to have a blunt. They vaping, you know what I mean? You can't hold your clothes up on top with no belt. Everybody wants to be cool and they want to be the thug. Everybody wants to, they got to talk a certain way. So your young baby, your son, is trying to act like you because you're still a child. And you're exhibiting, this is what we do. And suppose it's negative. but you're teaching your child how to be negative, male or female. Because you're still a child raising children to be you, and you don't even know that you're still moving in a negative way. Compared to, right? Compared to, we came up. We could, on our television, you didn't even see people kissing on our TV. If they did, it was on the cheek. You never saw them kissing. And if they tried to kiss, mama would say, turn your head. And we had to turn our head because they was kissing on TV. You hear me? Kissing, honey. And so what our eye gate saw was protected by our parents. Our parents didn't allow us to see anything we wanted to see. We couldn't go anywhere we wanted to go. We couldn't do anything we wanted to do. Everything, we had guidance, and we had, these standards. We had this structure, And people today don't like structure. It's our thing. We're going to do everything we want to do. We don't care if you like it or not. And see, we were taught to be respectful. You have to respect people. Young or old, you show respect. Now, because we have the new generation, it is called, you ain't got to respect nobody. You just tell them how you feel. They can't hold a job long because they don't know anything about, work ethics. They can't go into a place without, good gracious, you talking about sometime I'll be trying to go and do something and I see a short where somebody's acting really ugly. I wonder where that come from. But you know what? The guidance, the structure. I wouldn't trade anything. You talk about, oh, you're so old-fashioned, honey. I am glad and glorified to be old-fashioned because that's what taught me how to raise mine and how to teach mine so that they could be respected and we be respectful. Not this new thing that we got going on. And I'm not bashing. I'm hoping, trying to guide and try to get an understanding. So hopefully at some point we can stop and reset and say, you know what? I don't want to be going this way. I don't want my child acting like this. And that's why the system has a billion-dollar company called prison waiting for our children to act out. Why? Because nobody's training them and guiding them to not act out. You're telling them who, if she said to you, you got a right to cuss her out. So they're cussing out grandma, they're cussing out mama, they're cussing out the neighbor, they're cussing out the teacher. They're going to cuss out the police officer, and they're going to find themselves in trouble. And before they're 10 to 13 years old, they're already in a thing called the system. Their name is written already in there, and they got a check mark by it because they know soon they're going to graduate from here to here. Why? Because there's no structure, there's no guidance. And because children are raising children and don't want an adult to help them. And what we are here to do, we're your guides, we're your ancestors. We are the ones who got some keys to help you, take some shortcuts. But you don't want them. You know why? Because you think what you're doing is cute. You think it's funny. You think it's cool. And a little girl told me one day, and I was at work. She says, I told her she couldn't do something, what it was. She says, I said, why'd you do that anyway? She said, oh, no, bruh. I said, excuse me? She said, no, bruh. I said, ho, I ain't your bruh. No, it's just a saying. I said, it's not a saying for me. Let me get you straight on something. My name is Miss Jenny. That's what you're going to use when you talk to me. I ain't your bro, I ain't your friend. I said, I ain't your boo. I said, my name is Miss Jenny. Use it. Correct it, okay? Write a dot beside if you need to, but don't you ever call me your bruh. I say, call them your bruh. I'm not your bruh. And I said, do you know what bruh is? I said, I know it's cool now, but bruh always been a brother. I ain't your brother. Okay? So keep your little slang to yourself, okay? She looked at me, she dropped her head. I meant exactly what I just said to her. Let me educate you, because see, that might be cool in your household. That might be cool around everybody you go to. I said, but it ain't cool with me. You're gonna recognize, you're gonna put a handle on my name, as we said back in the day. Put a handle on it. You don't call me Jenny, you call me Miss Jenny, because I am an adult. You put a handle on it. We weren't allowed when we came up to call an adult. Mama, Esther's here. Who's Esther? Oh, the lady next door. Boy, you mess around and have dentures by the time. Look, your whole mouth be he done got swole up. You don't never call no adult by their first name. You call them Miss or Mr. So-and-so. You put a handle on it. That's what, and they ain't had to tell you but one time. You put a handle on that name, right? And that's what we did. It's called respect. You respect people. And see, our children today, not all now, but our children today, most that I have seen, have not been taught to be respectful. You know, and then you try to explain to a parent what the child has done, and then you know why the child acts the way they act, because the parent is done gone completely left. I was trying to talk to a parent one day, trying to explain to them something that had happened, and they was going blah 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 blah, blah, and let me tell you that, and so I got quiet. I let her talk because I wanted her to vent everything she had to say. So she's going, and I'm gonna tell you something else, yada yada yada. She's going on, and I kept quiet. I let her say what she had to say. And when she finished, I said, "I want you to know I heard everything you said, and I understood you clearly what you said, and I do apologize. You feel that way." I said, "You have the right to feel that, but let me tell you what really happened. Let me explain to you why we're here today. We're here today because of this and this." I said, and there's no other reason except that. Now, you have the right to feel the way you feel, but what you're thinking and what you just said is incorrect. I said, this is what happened, and that's why we're here. She got quiet for a minute, but she sputtered out something else, and I let her say what she had to say, because you have a right to feel what you feel. Your feelings are valid. Don't mean they're right, but they're valid. You're upset, you're mad, because honey, I could get hot right now. But because I'm mad about something, I later on found out that I was wrong about what I was mad about. And I had to go back and apologize and say, yeah, I viewed it a different way. I apologize because I saw it a certain way. So let me apologize. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because something about how we've been taught, apologizing doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong. It tells you who you are. It gives you character. It makes people look at you a different way. You come in a different light. That same young lady that I told that I wasn't her bruh, whenever I'm getting ready to get off from work, she makes sure I get a hug. I got one girl that come here, fasten these pants up, and I'm always tugging with her clothes. And guess what? I can't keep her out the office. Soon as she gets there, she won't sit in the office with me. She's got to keep coming back and forth in the office. I said, my shadow, right? But it's because she knew everything, what I was trying to correct was not out of hate. It wasn't out of anger. And it wasn't to be disrespectful or to look down upon you. I'm trying to tell you something that's going to make you better. Because see, you're going out inside of this world that they're not ready for the stuff that you're trying to do. And if they're not ready for what you're trying to do, they're not going to accept it. If they don't accept it, they're going to correct you. And when they correct you, they're going to correct you in a different way than you think. Their correction, that's why they got correction facilities. Those correction facilities is to correct you for doing the things that you think is okay. Because your parents, who were children, made you think it's okay to be wilding out and to be acting a fool. What's that song? Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in here. And you acting a fool up in here, and they say, no problem, keep on acting a fool. We're going to correct that. We're building facilities every day to correct your behavior because you want to act a fool. My little girl, when I first got her, I think she might have been 6 years old. And I'm sitting in the car, she said, it's getting hot in here, gonna take off all my clothes. I broke that daggone brakes on my car. I said, what you say, girl? It's a song, mama. I said, what's the name of the song again? She said, it's getting hot in here. I'm going to take off all my clothes. I said, girl, you sing that song one more time and you're going to take every bit of them off. I said, because this is not going to be a good day for you. I said, I best not hear you sing that song ever again. That song is inappropriate for you to be singing. It's just a song, mama. I said, it's a song that you won't be singing in my ears. You hear me? And I meant it. I said, because it ain't hot up in here. And you ain't taking off none of them clothes. And they like, oh, Lord. Because I was in my 40s when I got them. And so their mothers in their 20s, and that their lifestyle they had was different than the one I'm getting ready to bring them into. Because I'm like, we don't do them. No, sir. Tootsie Roll, all that kind of stuff. We ain't doing that. You know, you can do that, what's that, Superman and all. I said, but there's certain dances you ain't gonna do. And they knew it. So sometimes when they went to dance, everybody would circle around them while they were dancing. What's that circle over there going on? And I have to cut my eye over to the side. It's my child down there breaking it down. I gotta break the circle up. You know, our lives change. And unfortunately, when we pass things down, we hope that, you know, our children receive that. I repent that my mama had some jewels for me and I did not receive them because I didn't think it was important. She could have taught me how to can, how to preserve. I didn't want to learn how to sew, so she didn't need to do worse time with that because I ain't sewing because I couldn't sit still long enough. But some stuff she didn't know how to do, I should have learned those things. They were jewels. But I'd rather just wait until she finished and come collect my jars. Now I wish I knew that because I could be canning my stuff, preserving my things, right? I could be doing that. So I missed some things that I could not pass to my children, but some things that I could pass down to and show them how to cook, how to plant, how to do this. So those things I wanted to make sure they knew. Make sure wherever you fit in this village and wherever they allow you to come in at, you help these young babies. Help them young babies to understand what you're doing. Today is cute. Tomorrow, somebody's going to correct it. They're going to correct it. We could go outside and play we do our neighbors. So we get on our bicycles, ride to our neighbor's house and play and have a good time. You don't see children on bikes no more. They definitely ain't playing. Because they're inside playing on, that's what they do. So they don't have communication skills. How to communicate with one another, right? Some things we just need to just try to help out in, if they allow you to. And I got some babies that don't mind me helping them now. I'm telling you. When I get to work, come here. What you doing? Stop that. Why you say that? You apologize to them. How come you do that? I'm going to tell you something right now, girl. And the staff be looking at me like, grandma's in the house. I said, you know it. But guess what? When I get ready to leave, they won't let me leave until they get a hug or bye, Miss Jenny, we love you. I get all of that. And I'm the one who's correcting them. You would think that when they see me come, oh, Lord. I had one boy, he was cut up all the time. I said, come here. What are you doing? You always picking on me. I said, let me tell you something. The day I don't say anything to you, you need to check yourself because I don't care. As long as I'm saying something to you, it's because I care. I said, come here. He come. I said, give me a hug. And now he can't wait till I get there. That's what we do. Don't think it's hopeless because they want you to think it is. There are some children that are waiting for you. There are some people who can't wait for you to come in and help them learn things they didn't know. Young lady I meet all the time. Young ladies, could you do this? Could you be my guide? Can you be this with me? Sure, no problem. Right? Fit in where you can get in because they're asking for help. Some of them want you to help them. Everybody ain't got a deaf ear. So don't turn your back on everybody. Eh? All right. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope and pray that you receive something that's going to help you help somebody else that needs us. We are here, libraries. People can come to us and just turn pages and find out what they need to get where they need to go. We're libraries. We're guides. We're instructors, right? We're love angels. We're all that kind of stuff. Built into one. That's where we came from. Oh, I'm so glad. So now use that to help somebody. Because I guarantee you there's somebody looking for you. I guarantee you. Don't think everybody's off. Somebody's waiting on you. Somebody needs you. So be there and show your love. Show your guidance. Oh gosh, y'all men. There's a whole lot of young men need y'all. There's a whole lot of young men need y'all. These men here. Be in a place that you can help somebody. Don't get stuck in yourself. You're not meant to be here on no island. You are meant to be here to help somebody. I love you. Hope you had a fantastic time listening to me. It's a brand new day. It's an awesome moment, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you. You be awesome today. Let your light forever shine. Be attentive to others who need you, because somebody needs you, because you're fabulous. You are. You're wonderful, and you're what they said, you're greatly made, wonderfully made. So that means you can do anything. Just don't let somebody put you in a box and make you think that you can stop, because they're not going to listen to me. Somebody ain't, but somebody will. Go to the ones who will. And guess what? When you go to the ones that will, you'll be surprised who's listening on the back end. Because when I'm talking to those children here, the other children are listening. And it changes them too while they're listening. And I find out a lot of people are waiting to hear you talk. Because when you start talking, they're now educating themselves on what you just said. Trust me, what you do that is good is not falling on deaf ears. You're planting seeds. You may not see that plant go up, but you're still planting good seeds. Keep planting those good seeds, because at one day, at one time, you're going to see your harvest. I love you much. You be blessed. Thank you for watching Jenny Oya and Nuggets and Things. You be awesome today.